Hi there, I'm Matt Keene. Thanks for visiting Creating a Future We Want, the Bound Home series, where I share just little bits about what bound home concept and sculpture is all about. As much as I can come up with, anyway. So here I am, sitting, sort of in front of phase one, the installation of Bound Home, and like, why have a perfectly good concrete wall and have holes in it? What's going on with that? So, and spider webs too. So with Bound Home, I've been thinking a lot about the paradoxes, contradictions, juxtapositions of our notions of home, the conflicts, the challenges that we are confronted with when we think of and live our homes. And one of those was in terms of the origin and destination. Origin being like a place where we often begin our travels, begin our lives, begin our days in our home, and also they are the destination. It is often a place where we may prefer to end our lives, or come to the end of our lives, the end of our day, the end of a travel to arrive back home. And the reason that these holes are here, these holes represent stars. So this is, for me, this notion of if a home, like a physical structure that we live in, is something that's accessible for a human to comprehend in terms of origin and destination, a star perhaps is at the other end of that, less accessible, more alien, abstract. The notion that the particles of our being, the finest, smallest particles that we consist of, that comprise the matter that is a human, a life form, originated as part of the universe, part of a star, and that in time we will return to become a part of the universe and a part of a star. And so here we have a specific star. This is Iota 1, and it is a star, part of the constellation of Scorpius. It's HR 6615, for those of you who care about looking up in a more specific way this star. This is a supergiant, but not visible because, doggone, it is, let's see if this works, 1,791 light years away. Yeah. Yeah, light years away. It's also, maybe that's not the darkest pencil I could use. It's also, you'll notice this star is large, larger than, this is the smallest and this is a medium size. So why is it large? Well, the size of these holes in the wall is relative to the size of this star relative to our sun. It represents the ratio and the size of this star in our sun. So this star here is one of the largest in Bound Home, represented in Bound Home, and it is 115 times larger than our sun. Did you know our Earth, 1 million Earths, can fit inside of our sun? This star is 115 times larger than our sun. So the size of these, they follow a log scale in terms of volume, where this is 150 inches cubed, this is 50 inches, and this is 100 inches cubed. So this star would be in the same is order of magnitude as our sun, so up to 9 times somewhere in there, 9 times the size of our sun. Maybe it's 2 times the size. This one here would be between 10 and 100 times the size of our sun, and this one here is over 100 times the size of our sun. So the size sort of represents that ratio, a difference between our sun and the star. So, one of the other components of Bound Home here is, and why stars are a part of it, and there are many reasons, but is also this notion of our home being visible and something of mystery. So our homes, they might be right on the street, like this is here, and everyone can see it, and yet there is an enormous amount of, should someone be curious, mystery as to what is it about, what is inside of it, what is happening around it, why is it there, who is there, what stories have been created, what memories are carried through that home. And so although it's overt and right there's an enormous amount of aspects of it that are, in a sense, covert, or it feels weird saying that in Arlington, Virginia, but that are not that are a mystery. And the stars, for me, are so much this way. There is no cost to look up and see. There are things preventing us with light pollution and such, making it difficult. But even with binoculars, you can increase the number of stars you can see by 10 times just by putting them in front of your eyes if it's a 10x magnification. And so this idea that we can see the stars, they are right in front of us in this wall here, those holes are right in front of us, but what the heck are they about? There's so much about the universe, some 94% or 96% of the universe, we don't even know what it is. Our math tells us that we're not even perceiving most of the mass in the universe, explaining the way everything's moving. What? So here we have a bunch of holes and people walking by saying, what the heck? Went to build a wall and left a bunch of holes in it. What's that all about? I'm Matt Keene. Thanks for visiting Creating a Future We Want, the Bound Home series. What is your vision for the relationship between us and the stars?